I see blue, fair enough, Dan, but the red idea sounds good. First model is always hardest. Do the same as you. Choose my colors as I go. Best way, and it's like a surprise. It really is. Because I have no idea what these long gunners are going to look like, besides red shoulder pads, which I'm happy with. And lots of different shades of... I've been looking online too, just to see what kind of different color schemes are out there, what people have done, and just like what parts are accentuated and what aren't. I think I'm gonna do like their little, I don't even know, the material that flaps in front of the crotch, down the front. I have no idea what the name for that is, but I'll paint that white, I think. I like that color. Maybe I'll do the whole thing white. I don't know. Oh, time to paint it and see if it works. If not, white's easy to paint over, so. I guess this is where thinning the paints is useful, because if you thin your paints, you can paint over and over and over and over again, and you don't lose too much detail when you're not satisfied with your original color. Is there anything even in here? Oh my goodness, it's like Jello. That's what happens when you don't open your paint pots for like a year. Lots of water. This is kind of funny. Sorry, I was distracted. The viscosity of the paint is different than what I've ever seen it before. Ah. Poor brush. Do you sell pest spray for Tyranids? Yes. Gaunts are a huge issue. Only in the southern states, though. They're coming up from Mexico, you know. No, mostly it's spiders and ants. Those are the big ones. It's more of a nuisance than a necessity. Although sometimes the ants, like in Virginia, oh my goodness, like the amount of ants that would just come up, they're just swarms and swarms, and they'd just be all over someone's kitchen. It was just gross. And they come in waves, but with the yearly pest control, you can just cut it down. You don't have to worry about it too much. And it's really not too expensive. It's like 30 bucks a month, so. Not too bad. So Dan, how many points you got there? Yeah, so right now I have the 25 points, but painted I only have like 11. No, not even. Well, I don't have my Warcaster, so I have more points, right? So I have like, I have 17 points painted. And then I have my Warcaster and I go back down to 11. Or I guess go down 2. Or I guess I have, wait. Because Warcaster's 6. Yeah, that's right. So I have 17 points painted. And then once I paint my Warcaster, I'll go down to 11. But I'll probably have my long gunners done first. And so I'll have like 21. That's silly. Yeah, that confused me a lot when I first started. My Warcaster, you're limited on how many Warcasters you can have in your army because they reduce points. It's just, I don't know why they did it like that. But that's the way they did it, I guess, to keep it smaller. So it's like, you know, you could legitly have like a 15-point army that's decently sized. You have a bunch of models in it. Well, I guess I can understand that. Do I want a white cape? I think it would look cool. Or do I want to just keep the blue cape? It's higher than it seems. Well, I got some black, some brown. Let's put some more brown in. Been assembling gene stealers while watching. Vids like this create a great atmosphere for getting stuff done. Well, that's good. Personally, I prefer the voiceover bat reps to the banter bat reps, as the banter bat reps I find can drone on. Yeah, but banter bat reps are more focused on interaction of the players while gaming instead of the actual game. And so, yeah, if you just want to sit down and have just a nice, see a nice battle go on, then yeah, banter bat reps aren't really the ones to watch. But if you want to see war gamers in action and just who we really are while we game and all that stuff, then yeah, banter bat reps do. And a lot of people actually request that I do more banter bat reps because I'm more crazy on camera. More myself, I guess. I don't know. And I wasn't very comfortable with the voiceover the way Matt does it, but I've been getting a lot more comfortable, and so I've been getting a lot more support that way. So thank you guys. Thank you much. I tried to rewatch like that first one I did. It was like only like a 3-parter, thank goodness. But I like listened to myself and well, we all learn, right? I'll look back, just like the battle reports way back when Matt and Dave first started. It's funny to see. I personally enjoy seeing how different I look with all my different lengths of facial hair. I don't know, I just get bored with my face. I look at it, I'm like, it's the same. So I let my beard grow, or I shave it off randomly when I'm enjoying my big brown beard, or I don't know. I like the, oh my goodness, this is insane. I need like a bigger brush, like this. So, if you've ever wondered what happens to your paint pots after you've left them for like a year and a half and you haven't touched them, or is it 2 years now? No, it can't be that long. Luckily, you can just add water and it fixes it up, but it gets gross. Like straight up gross. But I still like the color so much, just because I know what they look like. They're reliable. I know just the feeling of the paint. I'm like having to carve this out, so I have some surface to deal with. And now, this looks like diarrhea. You know when it's a good brown when. Ugh. Where was I even reading? Painting directly from the pot, maybe I missed it and you loaded the brush with water or something, but the paint tends to go on the model easier if you water the paint down a bit. Less brush strokes and it's smoother. Yeah, to a point. I know most people always, at least the high-end painters that do really good paint jobs, I always see them watering down their paints. But like I said before, just recently, I don't know. Can't get behind it. Definitely makes sense with what I just dealt with though. When the paint is solid. Like straight up solid. It's more jelly than anything. Water it down, put her on. I think it's with certain colors like reds and yellows and like white, for example. Just the brush strokes show so much more than any other paint for whatever reason. Just the ingredients to make it those colors. Just make the paint different, I guess. But yeah, I always have a bit of trouble with the brush strokes with those, so watering it down does help. It just makes it annoying because then you have to paint for so much longer. Who am I kidding? I love painting. No, I love the finished product. I would never want anyone to paint my models just because of that. Because then it just wouldn't be mine. I wouldn't be able to show it off, kind of like, hey, look, these are my models, look at this. Like it would take so much away from the hobby if you had someone do it for you. At least for me. Maybe you've had like this. No, I can paint well enough. I wouldn't want. But like, I can understand when people want when they buy like a $400 Ford World model and they just want to do it justice. They have someone professionally paint it. Like I'm totally down with that. That's fine. Because no one wants this massive, like, couple foot tall model on the board of epicness with like a paint job. You're just like, that's so awesome. But and then when it blows all your stuff up, you're like, that did that to me? Really? That terribly painted thing? So yeah. So you want to spend time on your models, make them look at least decent enough. It's just harder with those big ones to hide the flaws because they're so big. And when you look at the table, you just want to look directly at the big thing. Honestly, I don't think Fred is painted all that well. He's painted decent. For like the style that it's painted, it's painted well enough, I think. I probably won't do a repaint job on Fred, even though some places are very obviously, if you look close enough, can obviously take a huge jump in painting. But I have other stuff to paint, so. There's Yeah, I'm liking the game workshop. Well, I just kind of grabbed whatever was on Matt's and Dave's desks, right? Just stole their paints. But I think I like these paints better. Just the browns that I'm used to that I painted my orcs with before. Not that there's anything wrong with the other browns, it's just what I've liked from the beginning, I guess. I am more comfortable with them. Even though I was painting completely different models. Like, completely different feel and everything. I guess orc equivalent would be like the cricks, I guess? Or no, those, I guess the closest thing. Unless there's something else. Please comment, let me know. Because I really don't know. I guess if I get one model done, it'll already be improvement on my last painting session with you guys. But who knows? Wait, there are still door-to-door salesmen, really? I didn't think anyone still did that. Oh yeah, plenty. And you've never had someone come to your door and seen their parents just be like, no, no thanks, okay, bye. Those are the bad salesmen. There's a lot of those. The good salesmen push. You have to push. But now there's pushy salesmen, which are also very bad. And so let me explain the difference between a good pushy and a bad pushy. Good pushy salesman will say anything he can or anything at all to get you to listen to him. Well, not lying, obviously. But will do everything in his power and will not leave the door until you just adamantly do not want to talk to him at all, or you've listened to what he's had to say, or she. So once that point has been reached where you've made your pitch and the person has actually listened to it, not just waited until they stop talking, right? Then, if the salesman's done his job, the person will say yes or no, they'll buy or not, and then you'll leave. But the biggest issue is that a lot of people don't push to the point where people have actually listened to them. And so that's the biggest point where people don't sell anything. And there's a lot of people who try door-to-door sales and hate it and just quit because just like people don't buy stuff door-to-door usually. And if you work all day, like 8 to 9 hours, and you sell like 2 accounts, like that's a decent day. That's a pretty good day. I would want more like 3 or 4, but I'm quite inconsistent with my sales. I'll get like 6 one day and then like 1 the next. And then like 0 the next day and then 5 the next. I'm ridiculous. My employers are always like confused at how to motivate me to be consistent more. I'm confused too though. Some days I feel like it, some days I don't. I guess that's kind of growing up though, just maturing up and just no matter what you feel like, just doing it no matter what. It's definitely a hard thing to do. Like this job I have right now, sometimes it's just awful. I have to come in and paint and have everyone gawk at me and listen to my voice, and it's just awful. But you know, I just need to do it. I just need to grow up and continue this terrible job I have. Whoa, am I kidding? I have too much fun, I think. Okay. Congrats on your army, man. Oh, thank you. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with it as we continue on. Ooh, and I like this brown. It's turning out quite nicely. I'm just deciding where one cloak ends and the other cloak starts, because that kind of looks like it comes out. Either way, I'm going to be spending a few hours tonight painting the rest of these guys, making them look good. And I don't even know what I'm going to do with Striker, because I want him to look good, right? He's like he stays on the battlefield the whole time until the game's over. Either bad for me or good for me. He's on until it's over. So, I want him to look fantastic. I might just settle for above tabletop standard, just above. Just so it'll satisfy me just enough, and of course, be fine on the table to look at. And that's what these are, like my Warjacks. I could paint a lot better, like in a lot of ways. And for some reason, the red just is not consistent. I can see the brush strokes kind of thing. But I did water it down a lot when and I put on lots of layers, so I'll just have to figure it out, I guess. Again, I learn best by doing, so the more I paint, the higher quality paint jobs you'll see from me.